need.
Traumatic cinematic, bitches.
Check us out, traumaticcinematic.com. Greetings and salutations, internet goers. Welcome back once again to this little thing I like to call the Traumatic Cinematic Show. I am your host, Mugumbo, and with me tonight, like always, of course, not like always, this is this week on Traumatic Cinematic, isn't it? It is. And that's what happens when you're so used to doing the other show and you go to do this little short show. But like always, with me is Mr. Mike Wickliff.
Hello.
And from the West Coast, Mr. David DeMoss.
Oh, hi, Internet.
Hello, Internet, indeed. This is This Week on Traumatic Cinematic. This is the short little tidbits of common pop culture and what's happened in the last 7 days. And what's happened in the last 7 days is we have delved a little deeper. We have taken a few more steps. We have gone a few more blocks, a few more miles, a couple kilometers closer to the road of the Days of the Dead here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Mr. DeMoss is flying in from Portland, Oregon. He's coming into Indianapolis.
I believe I can fly.
I believe he can fly too, ladies and gentlemen. To celebrate such a thing, we have invited a very special guest onto the show tonight. We have Mr. Nick Tyson.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming on the
Dave's
show.
Mom.
No, that would be rude. No,
Mr. Nick
Tyson
being on the show. Here's Dave's mom.
From
That's a few weeks in the future.
Nick, you are from Line, Lexington, Pennsylvania, not Lexington, Kentucky, like I mistaked you for earlier.
That is correct. I am from Line, Lexington, Pennsylvania. It is about 30 minutes away from Philadelphia. So I pretty much live on the outskirts of the city, pretty much, just about.
You travel to the Indianapolis Days of the Dead regularly, right?
I do.
Have you been to many of them?
Just the 3 as of right now. Just the first one that was in Indianapolis, the third one that was last year, and this coming up.
What actually convinced you to make the trek? I mean, I understand. I'm here local for Days of the Dead. I'm a little spoiled, apparently. What pulled you from Pennsylvania to Indianapolis for Days of the Dead, of all things?
Actually, it was pretty much taking a risk. We do have the Monster Mania convention, which is only in Cherry Hill, which is not that far away. But as of right now, I'm kind of on the restricted measures of transportation. And through Facebook during that time, I was talking to a lot of people who were hyping up this Days of the Dead convention. There's been people from Deandra Laser, who is now the Nancy Thompson of Elm Street within the Heroes within us, and a few others. And I've just been seeing pictures and promotions for this convention coming up, and for some reason, I just decided maybe I should travel out to Indianapolis. If I have enough money, if I can pull it off, I'll do it. And then within about a few months, I got the money together. With little money I did, got a plane out there and flew out there just to experience the pop the cherry, if you will, my first convention.
The plasma. Were you selling plasma, or were you letting them take marrow out, or were you going through the intense drilling into your bone for Days of the Dead funds?
Oh, hell yeah.
Is it a good idea to ask him to what lengths he really went to for money?
Absolutely. No, because, I mean,
This podcast dares ask.
Somebody's got to ask, right?
How many dicks did you suck?
It's just enough. Just enough.
The correct answer is 37.
Never won too many, sir. Never won too many.
38.
38. Like, I would have been okay with 35.
37.
So you've been to the Indianapolis Days of the Dead show. Have you ever been to the Chicago one?
I have not. Actually, the last one was the first one, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't know about the Chicago show.
Okay, well...
I think they've only had one so far. But
okay,
I know they have in Atlanta and Los Angeles that are coming up.
Yes, and I do believe that, the Chicago one, and I think they've done a Columbus one.
Trying to make.
Or hopefully. And that's, I guess we'll find out, because apparently we'll be able to ask those questions to somebody that'll be able to pinpoint each and every one of those answers here soon. So we'll see how that transpires into the future. So Nick, when you came out here for the first Days of the Dead, right? Were you already, if folks at home, in case you don't know and you don't already know, Mr. Nick Tyson here on the internet, then this is your first experience on the internet. You can find Nick on Facebook for your second experience. And he's Nick, the number one, TSON. And then or also Tyson and Hyde Asylum on Facebook.
That's correct.
And you can check out some of the characters that Nick has kind of conjured up out of the abyss of, despair and hate and oddness. Perhaps you do have some. You have some actual original characters.
The one character is original. He was my first character. The other character who I'm premiering this summer, Seek, he was actually from an old Nickelodeon show called Salute Your Shorts. Seek the Plumber. That's Seek the Plumber. I figured hasn't had the proper exposure like the other monsters and kind of been overlooked.
Really?
So,
I had no idea. I did not have. I'm so rural, dude. I didn't have fucking cable until I moved out on my own, and then. Yeah, I still have to have a little fucking satellite dish to get cable. I never had.
I actually vaguely remember. I remember Salute Your Shorts, and I vaguely remember the plumber.
I'm a failure as a Gen X nerd. I'm a failure as a Gen X nerd.
Go on YouTube. Seek the Plumber. There's like they call him the Freddy Krueger of custodians, which pretty much drew my attention to actually bringing him on board for Monsters Among You. And
excellent. Well, that's completely original. Like that's awesome, man. I'm bumping elbows with you over the radio.
Wasn't Freddy Krueger a custodian already? Or was that just that one scene in Nightmare 1?
I think. You know what? I honestly forget. For some reason, I for the longest time believed that he was a custodian, but then someone just pretty much thought of the fact that he was just this scumbag that ended up killing children, which in its own way is kind of creepier enough. But custodian-wise, I think they tried redoing that for the remake, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, okay. And see, I haven't even seen that yet. So,
no, don't see it. Do not see it.
It may be requested of me.
I hate to change the subject, but real quick, guys, I needed to mention something. And I don't know if anybody noticed out there, and I know some of you might have, but nobody tweeted me. But last week, I went to do the show, and the show wasn't there. And I'm looking, and the show's not there, and the file's gone, and the file where the file's supposed to be is gone, and the folder's not there. And I realized, oh my god, I never hit the record button, guys. I never hit the record button on the show. No. And I know you guys are like, what in the world is going on, right? Lewis, how's that possible? I just listened to the show yesterday. It's there. Well, you're right, guys. When I realized what I had done, I was like, well, you know what? We still had the microphones plugged in. I emailed the NSA, and they sent me a copy right over. So we were good. The new cloud, guys. It's the new cloud. It's the new cloud. Right, Mike? Is that not relevant? Come on. I worked on that all fucking day.
It's relevant, but really honestly, the whole NSA thing is getting blown way out of proportion.
And you had to mention the cloud in front of Mike, which is like waving a
but isn't that what it is?
It's just Skynet,
it is
and it
a
will
big
kill
cloud.
us all, yes. But no, the whole thing with the NSA screening our calls, and they're not actually screening our calls.
No, they're just recording it so they can screen it later if they decide they need to. They're just collecting the data now. That way they can comb through it later. They're just filling
all they're doing is they're not collecting the raw data. They're collecting the connections. It's kind of like
those later.
Well, yeah.
It's not even. It won't even be interesting combing. It'll be like those episodes of the X-Files.
It's gonna be 9 million cat memes
where Mulder's getting all those shit jobs. It'll be like that. Some NSA functionary is gonna get like the really shit job.
All they're gonna get
combing through
from
all
my
this
phone
too.
records is that you called me and talked to me for half an hour.
Definitely no text messages. They will get that from
messages.
you.
All they're going to get is that you call me on the phone and you talk to me for half an hour and then I hung up on you.
Yep. Nick, my
they're
question.
Not going to get that you talked to me for half an hour about the same thing and kept saying the same thing over and over
again
and said it again. No, I'm just kidding.
No, and again, and you're like, and then you emailed me right after you were done and said it 3 more. Nick, my question.
No, they're not looking
for Nick here.
They're not looking
Mike.
at that stuff. All they're looking at is patterns. And it's the same thing that law enforcement has always done as a precursor to wiretapping, which is scary in and of itself. However, it is not the fire and brimstone, sky is falling that everybody likes to make it out to be. And also, anybody who didn't think this kind of shit was going on already is naive at best.
Oh, but it's different when we know it's definitely going on, because that means it's even worse than what we even know. Nick, how do you get your nerd on, Nick? What do you think makes you a nerd? Like if somebody came over, you're dating somebody, or like your wife that may cause you out to be a nerd. I'm not sure what your situation is there, but it doesn't matter. What makes you a nerd?
Oh God, just the fact of being a horror geek. That's just about, or a horror nerd for that matter. I'm pretty much very quiet when it comes down to it. But if someone brings up anything related to horror, whether it be a new movie that comes out that week, I slowly geek out a little bit to where it comes out to the point of being very quote-unquote creepy to certain people. But that's what pretty much gets my nerd out. Just
you mentioned being a hunter.
No, a haunter, yes. I'm actually, I've been a hunter since I was actually, since 2001 when I was around 12, 13. So I've been doing this for quite some time.
You're just a wee little hunter then. Just a wee little hunter. Just a wee bit lad.
So what is your favorite horror movie?
Oh, damn. That's a hard one, I have to say.
It's like cutting off your arm to
What do you have? Horror movie do you have tattooed on you?
I have no tattoos, but at one point I was going to get a Killer Clowns from Outer Space tattoo.
Yes, that classic Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Did you see The Purge, Nick?
I did not see The Purge, and for what I'm seeing on the internet, I don't think I have any interest in seeing The Purge now.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
Regardless of that, what's the last horror movie you saw in theaters that you would actively recommend to the masses?
Oh God, the last horror movie I saw in theaters? Oh shit.
That you would recommend?
Yeah.
The last horror movie that I saw in theaters had to be the remake of Friday the 13th. And that would probably be the one.
Wow, you know what? I saw that in the theaters too. God, what were we thinking, right? Like, no wonder you didn't go back to the theater again after that.
Well, you know what? Actually, it was kind of a funny experience. What happened was, the movie came out on Friday the 13th for marketing, of course, and it was probably one of the most weirdest nights. It was a date I had. My date pretty much picked me up late. We went to the movie. All the seats in the theater were taken, and if you actually looked up at the seats, everyone was wearing a hockey mask. And my date pretty much got terrified by the sight of every seat wearing this Jason hockey mask. When the movie was over, I even told Derek Mears this at the first Days of the Dead. When the movie was over, we're exiting the theater. There's this big guy dressed as Jason Voorhees. She's clinging on to me, and she doesn't want to look at him. He sees her, and as we're walking out, his shadow casts over us. And she starts running. She lets go of me. She's screaming. She's running back to the car. And me being, like I said, a haunt entertainer, a haunter, I just look up at him and it's like, good stuff. So,
right. Like, yeah, he sold it. He sold it. Just like a comedian telling a joke you've already heard. Man, you nailed that one. Sweet.
Exactly.
All right. So, you know what? Like, speaking of some current event kind of films, I actually, and I guess it's not too current, but like one of the more recent horror movies that I've like really kind of fell in love with, Cabin in the Woods. I picked it up
Cabin in the Woods. I love that one.
$10 on Blu-ray at Target today. $10 is like, really?
It's a great movie.
Like
I picked it up around Christmas.
I picked that up. I picked Fight Club up for $10. It's like, shit, how can you not? How can you go wrong with Fight Club?
Well, if you want to talk about great deals on movies, though, have you seen that Amazon in reaction to Best Buy is doing a huge sale on Criterion movies right now?
Oh,
Get
really?
out.
Have you noticed they're doing these metal boxed Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff now? These special editions, like metal box.
I think those are actually U.S. releases of some of the steel books that the UK has been doing for years.
Really?
But I'm not 100% on that.
I mean, what is it? Just the case? Is it just something?
It's just
neat?
it's just a cool case.
I don't know.
The movie itself isn't any different as far as I'm aware.
I like stackability.
Yeah, and I like those metal cases. I do, but the Amazon and Best Buy thing, it's basically it's like the Barnes and Noble sale. Everything is like half off or better in some cases. I already bought my copy of Naked Lunch to replace my DVD. I already bought a copy of Repo Man this week. Depending on how long the sale holds out, Things to Come comes out from Criterion on Blu-ray this week, and if that goes on sale also, it's getting bought this week. There's just some great stuff. Godzilla is on sale for $20 on Amazon right now on Blu-ray.
Ooh, sweet.
From the Criterion version of Godzilla. And just some really amazing stuff.
Okay, cool. Nick, what are you looking forward to most at Days of the Dead this year? I mean, you're traveling up here for July 5th through the 7th, right? Yes?
That's correct.
Once again, you couldn't miss it for the world. And it's like a reunion, right, for you guys? The Monsters Among Us, or Monsters Among You.
Oh, God, absolutely.
And the Heroes Among You. So we've got the good and the bad, the yin and the yang coming together.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think it's pretty neat, the good and the bad. I didn't realize, I had never noticed the Heroes Among You faction of it.
You know what? I tell you what. Right now, if it wasn't for Deandra Laser, the faction leader of the group, if you will,
right.
If it wasn't for her, I think the only hero character that we've only seen so far would have to be Ash Williams, who's magnificently done by Adam King, and she's actually done something big here with doing the heroes group, because now you're starting to see more cosplayers portraying the other heroines from the Nightmare films, like you have Alice or Amanda Kruger, or not Amanda Kruger, Maggie Kruger. That's
right.
No,
basically any of the heroines from anything. And I guess that's I think what do they call it? Last Girl Standing, and that should be a character too that should be played. Which it'd be a lot harder for people to remember, but the last person alive, in the movie. Should get more fame, right?
Are there any Tina Shepherds so far?
Not as far as I know. Deandra would probably know for sure, but I know for sure.
We should try to get her on for next week. That's going to be a goal.
Laura Park Lincoln?
No, we're Deandra.
Yeah,
We should,
I know. I'm sure she would love to come on here. Actually, I just want to do a quick plug real quickly. Aside from Monsters Among You,
please do.
They're going to be doing a food drive in Indianapolis. So if you guys have any canned foods, be sure to bring whatever you can. It'll be good for a good cause.
Oh, what's the cause?
It's just a food drive that they're doing for. You can actually find it. It's Heroes versus Hunger. If you actually pull it up on the event page.
And what do they get? And then we're gathering canned foods, right?
That's correct. Canned foods, whatever you guys can find.
Just canned foods or dry goods or.
She has a list of what they can accept and can't accept. So
we'll put that. I'll get a link to that, and we'll have it on the site along with this episode tomorrow. What else? What else do you have to want to plug there, Nick? What is the Facebook for Monsters Among Us or Monsters Among You?
Monsters Among You is at is facebook.com/Monsters Among You. Simple as that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's it. Monsters Among You.
Oh, okay, excellent. My bad. Well, I'm not trying to rush you. We still got time left. We got plenty of time left, as long as it's within 2 minutes.
So
Absolutely.
I have to ask, what makes a group like you guys different from, like, if I decide to put on a costume and go to a convention?
What makes us different? You know what? I can't really say for sure what makes us different from everyone else. I guess when it comes down to it, when I was brought into the group, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. When I signed up for the contest, I didn't think for sure that I was going to be brought in. I mean, the runners-up were basically a Bride of Frankenstein and a female Pyramid Head. And when I entered, it was Lester, my own original character. And as Jeff said to me when I was picked, you have the passion.
Jeff Wicked Beard Cochran.
Jeff, that's right, Jeff. When he was running the contest, he told me that I had a passion, that I knew what I was doing, and to expect great things coming from me. So as long as you have the passion and basically you get your character down correct, you can't go wrong.
Do you make your own costumes?
I do make my own costumes. Lester was my first costume. He's basically the killer clown of the group. There's a few killer clowns, but basically my killer clown is more of an homage to as what Michael Myers or Jason is, except he's just wearing a clown mask. And he carries around a big axe, that's for sure.
Excellent. It really paints a nice visual, because nobody can turn away a wicked clown with a big bloody axe. Really.
Certainly helps you stand out in a crowd.
Sure does. I mean, it makes people remember you too when they close their eyes and try to hide underneath their covers when they're trying to go to sleep at night. Horrified.
So you're doing Zeke the Plumber, and any other characters that you're doing that weekend?
There is another character that I'm keeping top secret as of right now. And as I said it before in my hints, it's not going to be one of my main attraction costumes like Zeke or Lester. It's more of a substitute for another character I really wanted to do. But, of course, with funding as of right now, I can't really pull it off. But in the near future, it's a character that's been overlooked so many times that I know for sure I can definitely pull off. But the character I have in store for Indianapolis in a few weeks, he's pretty much an homage to a classic character, and the person that's playing him is basically someone well known. That's all I can really say for right now.
Excellent.
Can't give us a hint?
When are you going to release it? When are you going to release the answer to it?
I think when it comes, I don't think I'm going to release the answer to that.
You're just going to show up as it, and
I'm going to wait till Indianapolis and pick a random time, and if anyone knows who I am, I'm not going to say, hey, here's my costume, but if you know exactly who I am, but
that's cool. No, that's awesome. That's even better.
Yeah.
See if anybody knows that it's you or not.
Exactly.
Cool. Excellent. All right.
That's pretty great.
Anything else, guys? What else? Anything else super current, like scrumdiddlyumptious that we're forgetting that should be mentioned?
Well, there is a whole thing I was reading earlier this week. It looks like there's some talk being made about some lost episodes of Doctor Who. Back in when Doctor Who was originally aired back in the mid '60s, late '60s, the way the BBC did things is they just taped over everything.
Well, film was expensive.
All of that stuff got just
tapes
reused
were expensive.
and so none of that stuff exists anymore in a lot of cases. However, there is some noise being made that possibly thanks to one guy who was a big fan of sci-fi who liked to keep stuff for safekeeping back in the day.
Thief.
As part of the 50th anniversary here at the end of the year, they might just be announcing a whole bunch of the 100 lost episodes
that they went through and remastered
recovered.
And digitally remastered and cleaned up.
Probably, yeah. Possibly including the entire Hartnell run.
Hartnell?
Which Hartnell was the first Doctor.
That would be a gift
They
to
add a
several
whole, like,
people
Dr.
that I know.
Zero? I mean, wouldn't he be considered Zero, right? They started off
No,
with
just number one.
The first Doctor.
Number one, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anything else? Any final words, Nick? Any last thoughts you want to leave out there to the internet world?
Let's see here. Just for, I guess, a quick plug, what to expect for the monsters. Your worst nightmares are going to come true. Be prepared to be a stalked victim. Anyone and everyone is expendable. We got lichens and zombies and clowns. Oh my.
I'm sorry.
Oh my.
We are what we are, and we are the monsters among you, so be prepared. Come Indianapolis.
Excellent, guys. Remember, you can find Dave here at aytiws.com, also at aytiws on Twitter. Mike here is at Gray Matter Splat, and I am at Gen X Nerd. Check us out, traumaticcinematic.com. Have a great evening. I'm on the internet.